There is no way season 4 of Squid Game USA is coming. I am in shock. We are finally getting a Squid Game season 4 and it is set in America like we wanted. It's a moment that we have all been waiting for and I still can't believe that it's here. Someone pinch me, this doesn't feel real. Okay, well, in this video, I'm gonna be sharing everything I know about the upcoming season and what you can expect. But we all know that you'll never know what to expect in Squid Game. It's very unpredictable. Like and subscribe right now if you are excited for Squid Game USA and for good luck. We all know Squid Game is a huge phenomenon, and I'm not trying to make things sound bigger than they are. I'm actually being serious. If you know how many people became interested in Korea as a country and Korean products as well, just because of Squid Game, you will be in shock. We saw people playing Korean games worldwide and even eating Korean food. And this all happened because the show showed us the itty bitty details of living as a poor person in Korea. And even Americans can relate to this a lot since there's a lot of economical problems in USA in their daily lives. So in season 4, what do you think you are going to see? I just feel quite ticklish just knowing how wild it's actually going to be. America is a different place to Korea, and you might be thinking that the only difference the show might have is that season 4 will have an American cast and will be set in America. But no, it's gonna be more than that. At first, we are going to see American games, and I for one am excited to see what American games are going to be played. Let me ask you guys a question. What are your favorite childhood games? Put it in the comments right now, I'm curious. Maybe Capture the Flag or Hot Potato? I mean, there's so many possibilities. But other than the games, I'm interested in the stories. Backstories to be specific. Remember how all of our jaws dropped in season 2 when we found out that Player 100 was owing billions of won. But then I laughed when he tried to make himself look important when he said that not anyone was allowed to borrow such a big amount of money. But from what we know about Player 100, he was a businessman who took loans for business and it crashed. It's going to be sad and mind-blowing to see the kind of interesting backstories that the players will have. We could have a player who borrowed money from family members, banks, and even investors for his startup company. But then his company completely crashed. After all, there is a lot of startups that come and go around every year in America. So that concept would be cool. We could see the players with a lot of student loans, medical debt, and even mortgages. But my personal favorite would be an egotistical celebrity who couldn't complete her tour because of a drug overdose, and her insurance didn't cover the cost of the tour. So she is now in a lot of debt that she would have to pay up by any means. The possibilities of people in debt in season 4 are just endless. And what's even more fun about season 4 is that we are going to get the best of both worlds. I mean, the creator of Squid Game show, Duk, said that him coming back for another Squid Game would all depend on what type of Squid Game it would be. Like, if it was a continuation of the original story, then he would return to the lead project. But we all know that's not possible because he also said that the original storyline has ended. Gi-hun is dead and there's nothing else for him to do there. But if it's not the continuation of the original and instead a spin-off like American Squid Game, then the creator said that he wouldn't be the one to lead it, and he doesn't have any intention of leading it. But he is available to share ideas and contribute. But he will only do this as long as it doesn't interfere with what he's working on at the same time. And perhaps that might sound strange to you all, but remember that Duk is a filmmaker, and that Squid Game isn't his only work. I'm sure he has something else going on. I mean, the guy is probably so busy. And I'm very interested to see what he will do next. Just imagine watching the trailer for a new movie or series you will see from the creator of Squid Game. Oh my god, that would be so exciting. So in any case, we are sure that the creator will not be making the American Squid Game. He has also said it himself, and he even heard the rumor that we all have been hearing about that David Fincher will be directing it. And yeah, he is also excited to see what David Fincher makes, if he makes it. He said that he's been a fan of Fincher's movies for long, and who can blame him? Haven't we all? And that's why I said it will be the best of both worlds. David Fincher directing and Duk contributing however he can. And what I find most interesting about Squid Game USA are the theories and speculations that have been flying everywhere about it. Some of them are actually really funny. I actually saw one suggesting that it could be set in the future after Detective Junho raised Baby 222 in America, and she somehow runs into Ga-young, and they both get into American Squid Game together. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is just a brilliant thinking, but the script hasn't been made yet, so we can't even be sure of what the plot will be yet, but it's said that the production will happen this year in winter. Can you believe it, guys? This year in 2025 December. Will we see any characters from the original show return? That's the question. Or are we getting an entire new cast? Speaking of the cast, you should see some of the casting options. They are just wild. It's basically the Expendables, but in Squid Game form. You might be wondering why I said that. Well, perhaps it's because I see some people recommending an entire list of stars. And I'm not talking about a mixture of different levels of stars. Nope, I'm talking about a full catalog of A-lister actors. You'd see a cast containing Leonardo DiCaprio, Stan Lee, Tuki, and even Salma Hayek. And that's just a trio. The list could be on the level for a long run, and it makes me wonder what you all think the budget of Squid Game USA will be. The point I'm trying to make is A-listers aren't cheap at all, and when you've got an entire cast of them, well, that's gonna be so expensive. The first season of Squid Game had a budget of around $21 million. By season 3, the actors were the biggest stars, the biggest statues. So yeah, the budget rose to about $68 million. The money includes everything from the set design, VFX, cast, and the crew, and so on. So imagine having about 10 to 15 actors that you'd had to pay at least $1 million per episode. Oh my god. Just thinking about that much money makes me just so crazy. That's enough to make this channel into a studio production with at least 300 employees. Imagine having 300 people work for Cream Crafts. That would be insane. Anyways, enough with the money talk. I mean, who doesn't like money though? Besides, it isn't the whole idea of Squid Game. Money. Kinda is actually. But it makes me wonder how much the prize will be for Squid Game USA. Think about it. America is a country with the highest number of billionaires and probably millionaires. And the things we hear that these guys do with their money is just shocking. They buy their neighbors' houses because their neighbors are making complaints on them. They buy microscopic design bags. They build mansions for their dogs. The list is crazy to go on. So I can imagine that the VIPs we'll see in Squid Game America will have a lot more than in the Korean TV show. But how much do you really think the cash prize will be? I'm thinking $1 billion, but I feel like that's a bit high, so I'm gonna say 100 million if I'm being realistic. Regardless, just imagine what people would do for $100 million. That is literally around 12 billion won. Not 4 billion, 12 billion. The stakes will be even higher. They might even increase the number of players in games to be played. It will just be so crazy. We will see America Dream turned into something completely dark and twisted. And I know this next point will depend on the writer and director, but it will be interesting to see what kind of person wins this Squid Game America. Will it be a good person like Gi-hun, or an evil person like In-ho, or Jang Deok, or an innocent player like Baby 222? Anyways, until then, we can only wait, but I'm certain that this will be starting in December 2025, and I am so excited for it. But that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out my recent video. I'll put it in the middle of the screen right now. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe once again, and let me know what you think about this video. See you guys on the next one. Peace out and goodbye.